Welcome back, my friends. I want to share today with you a very powerful message that may take you a bit deeper into your heart and remind you of why you're here. There's the prophecy called the prophecy of the three shakings of the earth, and many people believe we're in the third shake of the earth according to this prophecy. So let me read it to you. There will come a time when the earth will shake 3 times. These shakings will test all people, nations, and the balance of the world. Those who remember the sacred ways will endure, but those who have forgotten will struggle and fall. The first shaking will come with great war, fire, and suffering among the nations. The land and the people will bleed, and the old ways will begin to fade. The second shaking will come when people turn away from the Creator, seeking only wealth, power, and machines. The rivers will be poisoned, the animals will die, and the balance of life will be broken. Then will come the third shaking, the most powerful of all. The earth will tremble, the sky will burn, and the great waters will rise. Many will be lost, and many will forget who they are. But for this shaking, a new people will rise. Those who walk the red road, who remember the old ways, and who live in harmony with the earth and the Creator. If they stand strong, this sacred hoop will be mended, and the earth will heal. The choice will be before all people, to cling to the world of greed and destruction, or to walk the path of balance, wisdom, and unity. The signs will be clear, and those who listen to the earth will know when the time has come. Those who listen to the earth will know when the time has come. So, my friends, there's an ancient saying that says the earth does not belong to us, we belong to earth. And I wanted to remind you today to reflect a little bit on these words. Those who will be lost, well, they're having a very hard time right now. You can pray for them. And those who have found the path, who have found the inner pull towards what is right, towards the truth, not towards the easy path, towards the right path, the truthful path. Well, you're most probably carrying your cross, right? You're having quite of a journey. Maybe a tough one, but a good one, right? Even Jesus said to people, he said, if you want to follow me, deny yourself and carry your cross. Well, more mystically, what does it mean? It means if you want to follow me, firstly, from where he's coming from a state beyond ego, right? He's coming from a state, most people describe it as the Christ consciousness. So he's coming from a certain type of a pure state from which he's speaking. So if you want to follow me, if you want to follow this purity, well, firstly, deny yourself, which means let go of your ego. Let go of your ego. Let go of your false stories. Let go of your pride and fear and arrogance. And face with all these demons of yours that are making you feel small because you've been made for something big. So these are very true words, my friends. And I know this path is not easy. There's something I've wrote today down that I want to read to you because it's in context with today's message, and then we'll go deeper into today's topic, the third shake and the 3D-5D split. So I've written down, let go of your ego, release your pride, fears, and desires that keep you small and distracted from what truly matters. Take responsibility for your struggles. This is where Jesus said, carry your cross. Take responsibilities for your struggles. Embrace your burdens, pain, and weaknesses instead of avoiding them. Walk the path of truth. Pursue what is right. Seek the highest good and strive to make the world better, no matter the cost. For those willing to sacrifice for what is true and meaningful will find a life worth living. And in the past, I found this a very hard truth, because when we're going through hard times, many times we would like to experience fast results, like all these quick fixes that are so popular on the internet. If you make a video like manifest in 3 minutes or something like that, it has many views, but when you tell people, hey, you will need to deal with your demons, you will need to go through the dark night of the soul, and you will need to face your fears and let go many of excuses and do what is right even when you don't want to do it, people move away. People say, well, I don't like that. But this is the harsh truth that at some point we need to face with it. That's why at some point I've been pulled to philosophy. I've been reading a lot of Aristotle at a certain phase in my life, and he always said, do what is in alignment with the highest good, or do what is the most right, do what would make God proud, or something like that. And many times it was a bit tough, like if I do what is right, I may not experience the wanting results at the time when I would like, but I will feel right in my heart when I do it, right? So when it comes to the 3D-5D split, it has everything to do with this philosophy, with this deep, heartfelt knowing, because, well, we've been used to function out of fear. So I'm afraid that I will fail. I'm afraid that nothing will work out. I'm afraid that I will end up broke. I'm afraid that there will not be enough money. I'm afraid that there will not be enough food. I'm afraid that they will laugh at me. I'm afraid that whatever, right? In ancient times, they would say this is the manifestation of the spirit of the evil moving through you, speaking to you, and you've surrendered to it. In ancient times, that's how they would speak. Today, they would say, my friend, let go of that. But I don't know how much it works. I've recognized that the greatest solution when we have this kind of thoughts like, I'm afraid this will not work out, or I'm afraid, what if I fail, what if this doesn't work? The greatest solution I found out is that I have a certain type of a faith that life is taking care of me if I'm striving towards what's the most right. If every single day I show up, I am responsible to bring heaven on earth, to bring the best into this world that can only come through me. If every single day I show up, I do my work, I do my job, I am accountable, I hold myself accountable, and I trust the process. When inspiration comes, when guidance comes, I respond to it through action. And when I've done my work, I relax, I let go, I recharge, and I rejuvenate. I've recognized that to me this is the most helpful way to think about it, because even though we still sometimes dwell in fears, we easily let go of it because we know there's something greater that is taking care of us. I just know, because I've experienced it so many times. I know there's something that's taking care of me. You can call it God or universe or whatever. And this is the difference when you move from the 3D to, if you call it 5D, this is the difference. You can live in the same house with someone who's living in fear, and you're living in trust and faith and knowing. You live in the same house, but you're living in a completely different world. You're without a fear. You're without a shame. You're not without a shame, but you are more conscious of why you have to do something that is right. Like when you experience a strong pull towards something that will improve a certain situation, maybe in your life, maybe in your family life, or maybe in the world, you do it. While people say to you, what's wrong with you? And that's what I believe that is happening as this great awakening, as these shakes of the earth are happening. Those are the wake-up calls that our ancestors have been talking about. They've been talking about the wake-up calls. They've been talking about the great web of life. You're not disconnected from the web of life. You are merely a thread in it. So what you do to yourself, you do to the web, right? So they've been encouraging us to think about responsibility. Like what you do to yourself, you do to all. We don't experience it now. Like you can do something hurtful to you today. You don't experience it in a way like you're hurting the world. No, but in few years you recognize your world starts falling apart if you're destructive towards you. And when you set a bad example, some people will follow you, right? When you set a good example, when you strive to improving your world, and you follow principles that are divine, that are functioning, that are actually working, you will recognize it's a tough road to walk. Because not every day you will feel like it. Not every day you will feel like you want to climb. And it's not that every single day you will need to climb, but when you decide to do what is right in this world, you will notice that it's not an easy walk. It's not an easy walk. But it's rewarding. It is freeing you, liberating you, and putting you back into a state where you feel connected with the world, with the earth and great cosmos. So the split that is happening is this difference. It's happening for many, many years. But now I see it more evident than ever before. I just see people who are waking up. And it doesn't matter if it's through certain religious beliefs, if it's through certain spiritual ideas, or if it's through just a common sense, doesn't matter. When you return back to more natural way of being, where you recognize nature is quite simple, but it also has its own systems, and you need to have respect for systems, for natural systems, because they work quite well. Nature works quite well, quite perfectly well. And there's the old Roman saying that says the best way to win the nature is to obey it. And this is a great wisdom because, well, nature is the greatest signature of God, right? If you would like to see the intelligence of God, go into the nature and see how perfectly everything is designed. Go and study cells, go and study biology, study neuroscience. Like neuroscientists are saying brain is the greatest technology that was ever created. And you have it right here. Are you using it well, my friend? What about your heart? Like Hopi people said, there's a very beautiful saying. The longest journey you will make in your life is from your head to your heart. This is the longest journey. And what does it mean? Well, we're used to live in our minds, to calculate, to think about everything, overthink everything. And this is where we catch ourselves in a loop of thinking and feeling, overanalyzing everything. While your heart says there's always another way. There's always another way. Doesn't matter where you are right now, there's always another way. But it's unknown. So heart pulls you into unknown. Like when I've started walking this path, I had no idea where it will take me. I never had a plan. I want to make YouTube videos. I want to do art. I'm an artist, and here are my paintings behind me. You can find them on AttractPassion.com. I never planned something like that. I'm actually coming from sports. I'm an extreme sports athlete. And that was my dream, but well, my path took me somewhere completely else. I was not planning it. There was a pull, there was a heartfelt pull. And I call it passion because it feels like a great fire inside of me. So I started doing what awakens a fire inside of me, and it started through inspiration. Whatever inspired me, I wanted to investigate it. And that's how I've started investigating this heartfelt pull towards something. And that's what I believe that is causing this split. The 3D-5D split, where people are going from their minds into their hearts. And in your heart, you're not judging the world. Now you're expressing your inner world. So you're not in conflict with the world. You're in creation with the world. This is a big difference. You don't see what is wrong. You see what could be improved. Where could you bring some beauty, some truth, some whatever can come through you. Maybe we need some music. Maybe we need some beautiful art. Maybe we need some pure minds. I don't know. But whatever is inside of you, there's something that is needed. And well, the great split that is happening due to this third shaking we are in right now, where great catastrophes are happening. It's quite crazy to see. And I'm sending love, I'm sending healing to anyone who's been a part of any recent natural disaster, any recent natural catastrophe. There are fires and floods, and so many things are happening now more frequently than ever before, and some people are predicting this year will be quite crazy when it comes to this. But those who are on the right path will be protected. This is something I feel over and over again, and I hear, and most probably you feel and you hear and you've experienced most probably in your life. Like your world was falling apart, but somehow, some way you've been saved. Or someone who's living a righteous life has been through a lot, but well, he didn't suffer. So this is the mysterious part of life that only those who are awake in their hearts will understand. And doesn't matter how you explain this process. The only question is your intimate relationship with the life itself and what you do with what you feel. I don't mean what you do with what you feel emotionally. I mean what you do with what you feel in your heart, because your heart will tell you the truth. But then to respond to it, well, it requires courage, it requires strength, and it requires preparation. And preparation is also done in rest, right? It's also done in rejuvenation. So the longest journey you will make in your life is from your head in your heart. This is a philosophical language. It's the language of our ancestors. That's how they have spoken to us. But there's so much truth in it. That's why we love poetry, because, well, even though it's not so practical, it awakens inside of us something that we know that is the truth. And there's another saying that says, people without vision will perish, but a people who walk with the Creator will endure. This is a powerful saying. This is another manifestation of the split that is happening. There are people who have unconditional trust, unconditional faith that they are guided, that they are protected, and they are doing the right thing. And those who walk in this kind of faith, in this kind of trust, they maybe don't know what to do tomorrow, but in the present moment, they do what is right, and therefore they are provided and they are protected. This was never meant to be an easy path. Nothing in life is meant to be easy, and those who only live an easy life become weak. And when you become weak, everything becomes hard. So it's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be so in tune with yourself that you know why you have to endure pain sometimes, why you have to carry on despite what the world around you says, just because your heart is navigating you to what you have to do. So your mind is a powerful servant, very powerful servant. Your intellect can serve you well. But when you start overanalyzing your life, well, it may become a source of problems in your life. That's why retreat from that is meditation or prayer or just sitting down in quietness, whatever you like to do. Why? Because you learn to become objective towards all this complex activity that's happening inside of your biological system. And just see it as it is, not being so identified for a moment, to recognize, well, okay, right now I feel this way, but it all shall pass, because I'm actually the observer here, right? Jesus said, me and Father are one, but Father is greater than I am, which means, well, you are not separated from life. Sure, life is greater than you are because you're a glimpse of it, a spark of the divine. But you're not separated from it. So maybe the solution is, when you find yourself in chaos, to return back to the spark that is pure, to find purity inside of you, and that leads to clarity. And there is no complicated way to find clarity, but sitting in quietness for enough time. In Taoism, by Lao Tzu, in the Great Tao, the philosophical texts, in the Great Tao, there's a saying, can you be patient enough to wait so the mud can settle and water will become clear? Can you be patient enough so the mud can settle and water will become clear? Because those who are raising themselves up, not through some mystical work, but through a right way of living, a right lifestyle, that is a lifestyle of purification. You don't need to be perfect in it. It's just making sure that you're slowly saying no to poison and yes to purity. When it comes to food, you just decide, okay, well, you don't need to be perfect, but you can decide, will you eat what's pleasurable or will you eat what's actually nutritious? When it comes to books and all kind of entertainment, will you read and watch what's pleasurable or what's educational? When it comes to your activities, will you do what's pleasurable, the temptation, right? Or will you do what's helpful, what brings vitality into your body? This is how you choose the right path. So it's not that pleasure is bad and discipline is good. It's the middle way, it's the balance. Pleasure can be a great reward for hard work, but it's a very bad escape from hard work. While hard work is a good way to build a better life, but a bad escape from pain. So you need a lot of hard work, but also you need some pleasure. So maybe if you follow your heart, if you find the intunement in your heart, or the voice of your heart, or how else can I say, you will find work pleasurable, and that's when you will know that you are on the right path. When you find work pleasurable, you will be able to do it even when it will be hard and you will not know what to do. Because there will be many skills required on your path for you to learn in order to make it happen. Because that dream that was planted into you has a big purpose, and you are part of this purpose. And those who are shifting into what we call 5D or whatever are people who are choosing to manifest that dream, that heaven of theirs, the heaven on earth. Those are people who are choosing to manifest it here through right action, through finding that middle way, the golden mean, as Aristotle said, not an easy task, no. So yes, when you find out that it's way harder than you thought it is, like some time ago I've been talking with someone who considers himself as a spiritual teacher, maybe something else, it doesn't really matter, but he said, you know, if someone would give me a shovel and say to me to dig, I don't know, a channel of dirt for 5 or 10 kilometers, or go on this spiritual path, I would rather go and digging this dirt, because I've recognized that the spiritual journey it's quite a tough journey. Quite a tough journey. So don't think it should be beautiful and easy. It is beautiful and it's very nice many times, but it's also tough, and many of you are experiencing that, and therefore you think you're doing something wrong. My friend, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just experiencing what we call life, and don't try to escape it. Don't try to avoid it. You are learning to face with it, and that's great. Retreat from it when you need to recharge your batteries, and then you return to it. Finding out, but know you are not alone here. Know that God is taking care of you, or life, universe is taking care of you. So find the voice that gives you reason to keep up. Find it. Don't fall into a victimhood, because that's where you will lose yourself in the fog, in the chaos, right? So I think this prophecy is very, very important, because, well, we've created quite a chaotic world, but it's due to our disconnection from our own divinity, our own nature. When we start to live more in coherence with nature, we recognize that firstly our world starts to become better. Like I've noticed in my life, my world started becoming better. I've started meeting more kind people. Like wherever I go, I meet kind people. I meet very kind people. My relationships started changing. Like I've let go of some old people and I've met some new people. Very incredible minds, very open and honest hearts. My work started growing in beautiful ways, and I feel I'm part of a certain solution. I just feel like that. Maybe it's not true, I feel like that. And to me, it's a beautiful reward. And I just feel when we start working from this kind of heart state, so much in our lives change for the better. And maybe it's a good way to bring something new to the great web of life that can influence the minds and hearts of others, so others can elevate beyond fear, beyond separation, beyond hate, beyond greed, and so much more, deeper into a sense of a calling, a sense of truth, a sense of guidance, and sense of love that is so misunderstood for us. And we only understand it when we feel it. And when we lose it, we try to seek it again. And it brings us back into unity, back into connection. So I hope you found a great value today. I will leave you here. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Have a beautiful day, my friends, and thanks to all of you for choosing to support my art. With that, you're supporting this mission on AttractPassion.com. You can find my original paintings, prints of my art. Check it out. And also thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. Thank you so much, and till next time, one love.